Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, state of Tennessee. Today, it's early Sunday morning, August the 2nd, 2020, time 5:11 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued encouragement and support. I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in this Memphis tri-state area, continue to further my educated moral cause online, continue to pursue my social degree, son, being a minister, alternative, concentration mark. It's present time to take a break and go to school, but in the very near future, I will be going back to Monroe College online to continue to pursue my social study, administration, concentration mark. It's 5:11 a.m. in the morning, and doing my video, and this COVID-19, this corona virus is having a adverse effect on everything. So your scheduling and all this, and YouTube, what I'm saying, because of the coronavirus, it takes a while to upload. Now I'm not making no excuses, but had the opportunity to be off this weekend, and so I'm being able to make two videos like I like to do, and we're gonna put emphasis on Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case, like I've been doing, and making absolutely sure that speaking out and continue to be an advocate for Mr. Sam Cooke, who was unjustly murdered by this manager, Bertha Franklin. And I ordered a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy, the coroner's report, from Celebrity Archive for $25. Excuse me, for $25. And so in that coroner's report, there's enough evidence to show that, based on the statements, Bertha Franklin's statement, and completely eliminated Eliza Bozer, it's not even no need for you to even mention that street girl, and so I completely eliminated that, got that straightened out, and so continue to work on statements that Bertha Franklin made. And as you can see, Bertha Franklin is a criminal, is a murderer. It was first degree murder. She ran and grabbed a gun. Well, in state and federal, that's first degree murder. That's murder. There's no such thing as no justifiable homicide. You ran and grabbed a gun. No, that's first degree murder. Now, So let's go over here to Instagram. I'm not gonna be long on Instagram. I'm doing probably about 5-10 minutes at the most. Let me see. I've been about 5 minutes since I started recording my YouTube channel. So about 5 minutes. That's about. And then I'm gonna go do my. I'm gonna go to Instagram first. About 5-10 minutes at the most. Then I'm gonna do my Periscope. I'm gonna spend the majority of my time on Periscope, and cause putting more emphasis on Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case. And as you know, that was the most unjust thing to do. And this Bertha Franklin is a murderer, and thoughts and prayers for Miss Barbara Campbell Cook. That was wrong. That lady should not have had to hear nothing like that. That Mr. Sam Cooke had been murdered. That's wrong, and it was unjust. And Mr. Sam Cooke and Miss Barbara Campbell Cook had two beautiful little daughters, Linda and Tracy. That's but them two little girls should have never heard that their father, Sam Cooke, had been murdered. And then to add injury to injury, and then to have the people in the courtroom to call it a justified, to rule that it was a justifiable homicide, which, as you can see, I've been showing that's not true. These people are criminals. They criminals. The people in the courtroom are criminals. Not only Bertha Franklin and the people over at that motel are criminals. The people in the courtroom are criminals. They're criminals. That's what they are. They are all criminals. But there's a crime that they committed. It's a crime. And that's all these people in their sorority and their fraternity do. They commit crimes. And that's what they did. They just commit crime over and over again. So let's go to Instagram. And then after I do my Instagram, we're gonna go straight to Periscope. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also on BrightShine, right here in the city of Memphis, in the county civil. Is in the state of Tennessee. Today date is early Sunday morning, August the 2nd, 2020, time 5:21 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for the continued courage support. Anti-gang, anti-gang. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites that you can go to make anti-gang logo. want you to remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Now, first, I always give thanks to God for all the blessings and guidance that God provides us. Always put God first. That's the most important thing in our everyday life. And then we always acknowledge and recognize God. Always put God first. Always. Now, I'm not gonna be long on Instagram. Like I say, it's 5:23 a.m. in the morning. Early Sunday morning. Now, because the coronavirus, COVID-19, I had to adjust my schedule and everything. Because, my uploading on my YouTube channel, recording, it takes extremely long. So what I try to do is not try to do like I usually do, like I want. Is, make sure, make my video at least an hour, because on Instagram it's about an hour that they, provide you with about an hour at the longest on Instagram. And so I'm not gonna spend that much time on Instagram today because I'm gonna do my Periscope. But what I am gonna do is continue to be an advocate and continue to stand for Mr. Sam Cooke. And continue to speak out and protest the unjust ruling in the courtroom by the people in the courtroom who are criminals. There was never no justifiable homicide. You know that Bertha Franklin's a criminal. She's a murderer. And that's what I've been showing. And I'm going to continue to speak out. I'm going to continue to protest. I'm going to continue to be an advocate for Mr. Sam Cooke. On this murder case, that was totally unjust that what this woman done. The manager over at the Hacienda Motel, the people at the motel criminals, the people in the courtroom criminals. They all criminals. That's all they do is the people in the sorority and fraternity. That's all they do is commit crimes. They criminals. They all criminals. And I sympathize with Mr. Sam Cooke's wife at that time, Miss Barbara Campbell Cooke. That was totally wrong. That lady should have never heard anything like that, talking about you murdered her husband. That was something that lady should have never had to hear nothing like that. That Mr. Sam Cooke had been murdered. And Mr. Sam Cooke and Miss Barbara Campbell Cooke, they had two little beautiful little daughters, Linda and Tracy. They should have never, ever heard anything like that their father had been murdered. And Mr. Sam Cooke's sister and brothers and his mother and father at the time was still living. They should have never heard that Mr. Sam Cooke had been murdered. Hell, the general public should have never heard that. That's something that you should have never heard, that Mr. Sam Cooke had been murdered at this motel, at the Hacienda. That man, that was wrong what you done. You're a criminal. You tried to get out of it. And that's what I've been showing. I got a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy. The coroner's report. That is the state court. That is the state of California court. And the criminal court of appeals is there. And the so-called ruling that they made, talking about it was a justified. The criminal court of appeal, you gonna hear about this. Definitely. Because there ain't no way in the world I'm sitting there reading Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy. Ain't no way in the hell that was a justifiable homicide. That's what I've been showing. Ain't no way in hell that was talking about Bertha Frank ran and grabbed a gun. That's first degree murder. That's first degree murder. It's first degree murder. You're a murderer. You ran and grabbed a gun. You can't run and grab a gun and tell me you shot 3 times. How you gonna shoot Sam Cooke 3 times? And one bullet hit Mr. Cook body. Man, that's first degree murder. Now, like I said, I ain't gonna spend too much time on Instagram, but I'm just, we're just talking and I'm watching the clock. And so, like I said, that was no such thing. That was no justifiable homicide. You ran and grabbed a gun. That's first degree murder. First degree murder. First degree murder. I'm gonna continue to be an advocate of Mr. Sam Cooke and the California Criminal Court of Appeal. Oh, you gonna hear about this? And they ain't gonna try to tell me Barbara Campbell Cook she gotta pay some money, talking about some kind of lawsuit that you're gonna try to. Oh hell no! It's the other way around. Mr. Sam Cooke, a celebrity. You talking about you shot Mr. Sam Cooke? Ain't no way. And then talking about the state of California gonna rule his murder as a justified murder. You owe Miss Barbara Campbell Cook some money, a lot of money, and Mr. Sam Cooke's children, Linda and Tracy, as well as his other children, his daughter Carla, grandchildren, Mr. Sam Cooke, sister and brother, mom and dad, and sister and brother, niece and nephew. That's first degree murder. Now, like I said, I got a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy, the coroner's report. Now, like I said, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's coroner's report. An autopsy, which is the coroner's report. That is the California State Court. And I purchased it from Celebrity Archive for $25. $25 from Celebrity Archive. But like I said, I want to make sure that the family, first of all, I don't want Miss Barbara Campbell Cook to be thinking that somebody tried to play with, you know what I'm saying? Because see, once I read just like I said at the very beginning, I didn't really just have a copy of it. But see, I knew someone right. When I was watching the documentary, I already knew. See, when you know right from wrong, you know it damn well. First of all, Mr. Sam Cooke, what the hell you talking about? You sitting your ass up in the courtroom talking you shot Mr. Sam Cooke. It don't even sound right. It don't even sound right. It's just like me sitting right here and talking about you attacked Janet Jackson and you forced yourself on Janet Jackson. Do that sound right? Talking about Janet Jackson came here for a concert and you talking about you forced yourself on Janet. Do it sound right? Hell no, it don't sound right. And then you try to get out of it talking about she had on a miniskirt. And that's the same thing, Bertha Franklin. You try to get out of it talking about Sam tore the door down and all that. See, once I got my copy of the coroner's report and read the statement, I already knew. It's just like I told you, it was a bunch that you should have never got away with. You were lying. Because see, when you know the definition of when you know the law, self-defense, as you can see, I've been showing the general public should have never heard that. First of all, Mr. Sam Cooke's family, his mother, his father, his sister and brothers, his niece and nephew. Mr. Sam Cooke's wife should have never, Miss Barbara Campbell Cook should have never, ever heard that you shot, that you killed Mr. Sam Cooke. That lady should have never heard that you killed Mr. Sam Cooke. Who the hell you think you supposed to be? Who you supposed to be? Talking about you shot Mr. Sam. It don't even sound right. What the hell? Talking about you shot Sam Cooke. What you mean you shot Mr. Sam Cooke? And now when you read the statement, you the manager at the Hacienda Motel. When I was watching the documentary, you was sitting your ass up on the witness stand. I feared for my life. I knew right then and there. I knew right then and there you were just repeating what somebody told you to say. You don't know what the hell you talking about. You don't know the law. Because if you knew the law by you being a manager at the Hacienda Motel, you ain't hear us say anything about the law. What do the state law say about a manager being in the manager's living quarters at a motel and a celebrity, Mr. Sam Cooke, is a guest at the Hacienda Motel, and you saying you had a gun and you ran and grabbed a gun and shot Mr. Sam Cooke because he was looking for this girl, this street girl that he brought over there who stole his pants. You supposed to be the manager at the Hacienda Motel. See, there's laws about that. There's laws about being a manager. It's laws about being a manager. And you don't get away with it. And that's really why I keep bringing it up. Because in the criminal court of appeal, just like you tried to bring that, talking about the dough, I'll bring it up too, if I wanted to. Because it don't have no bearing on it don't have no, but I'll bring it up. But it ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna make Mr. Sam Cooke guilty, because if I bring it up, it's just gonna mean the same damn thing. That you as a manager just didn't do it. You ain't do your job. You're unqualified. But see, what you tried to do, you tried to use the door that Mr. Sam Cooke tore down like that was a defense for you to get out on a murder charge. Well, he tore the door down. I was scared. Well, when I read the statement, as you can see, when I read the statement, it didn't have anything to do with you running and grabbing a gun, because you got into a struggle with Mr. Sam Cooke. You got to tussling with Mr. Sam Cooke. That is self-defense. So how the hell you fear for your life? Because you didn't. You defended yourself. Talking about Mr. Santa Claus told it all that. Yeah, Mr. Santa Claus told it all that. And he walked right past Bertha Frank. Didn't even say anything to you. So it don't have anything to do with you murdering Mr. Sam Cooke. It was wrong what you did. You tried to use the fact that Mr. Sam Cooke told her that way. He was looking for Eliza Bones and walked right past you. So the criminal court of appeals, Dick, I mean, you know you can bring it up, but it ain't gonna change. It didn't have anything to do with you running and grabbing a gun, because after that, you said it yourself. Mr. Sam Cooke grabbed my arm. He started yelling and got loud after he found out that Eliza Bones went in the manager's living quarter. Then he grabbed my arm, and I resisted. We got into a struggle. We fell down, and I started kicking and biting and scratching. That's self-defense. That's self-defense. So what the dope got to do with anything? Nothing. I mean, you know, you, like I said, you can't bring it up like this is gonna get you out of a murder charge, but that's what you tried to do. When she was on the witness stand, they tried to bring it up like that's a way to get out of a murder charge. That don't have anything to do with it. And to be honest with you, when Mr. Sam Cooke grabbed your arm, once you struggled and got to kicking and scratching and biting and fell down and then got back up, you said it yourself. You got back up off the floor. And Mr. Sam Cooke got off the floor. You kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. Then you kicked him. He hit the wall. See, now you can't even bring that up no more. See, now you can't bring it up no more. See, you can't get out of a murder charge because you got to kicking and scratching and biting when Mr. Sam Cooke grabbed your arm. So you got into a struggle. That's self-defense. You can't bring it up. It don't get you out of a murder charge. It don't get you out of a murder charge. Then you got back up on the floor. You kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. He hit the wall. And then you ran and grabbed a gun. But see, in the state criminal court of appeal, see, this was read by the grand jury and the judge and the prosecutor. They were wrong. They're all criminals. There's no such thing, no justifiable homicide. You ran. And when you ran, what was your mind thinking? See, this is what they intent. See, this is what they intent. When you ran, you didn't run for your safety. You ran because in your mind, you wanted to kill Mr. Sam Cooke. You ran to grab a gun. See, that's premeditated murder. Your intent, when you ran after you kicked Mr. Sam Cooke, your intent was to kill Mr. Sam Cooke. So you ran to get your gun. And when you grabbed your gun, you didn't even give Mr. Sam Cooke a warning or anything. You started shooting. That's first degree murder. That's first degree murder. And you didn't just shoot one time. Hell, you tried to unload. You tried to. That revolver had what, six shots. Hell, you tried to use every bullet in the gun. You said you shot 3 times. That's first degree murder. That's first degree murder. Mr. Sam Cooke didn't have no gun. Also, Mr. Sam Cooke had a little alcohol in his system. So, but you the manager. You the manager. And see, this whole situation was your fault. It was your fault. You at fault. You the manager. You at fault. So let's like I said, I won't spend too much time on Instagram. So let's go to Periscope, and that way we can go into detail. We can go into detail, and like I say, I always put God first. Now remember these words. Now you see what I was talking about? Miss Barbara Campbell Cook, the state of California, talking about you tried to make her, talking about a lawsuit. Hell, the state of California, you owe Miss Barbara Campbell Cook some money, a lot of money, and Mr. Sam Cook's children, Linda, Tracy, and Carl, and all these children, and grandkids, nieces and nephews, mom and dad can file a lawsuit on their behalf. Hell, you can't get away with no damn mess like that. You can't get away with that. That's against the law. I'm being an advocate on Mr. Sam. I'm in Mr. Sam Cook's corner. You can't do that. Hell no, you can't do that. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites you can go to make anti-gang logos. Like I said, I'm gonna get ready to end my Instagram video, and I'm gonna go to my Periscope. And I'll always put God first. I just ended my Instagram video, so now I'm finna do my Periscope video. Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known by BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county seat of the state of Tennessee. Today and date is early Sunday morning, August the 2nd, 2020 time, 5:47 a.m. First, I thank all my family, my support for your continued courage support. Anti-gang, anti-gang. These are just a few of the free logo design websites you can go to make anti-gang logos. Now remember these words: coercion, coerce, sexual coercion, psychological manipulation, psychological abuse. Now, I just finished doing my Instagram. I was about 10 minutes long. I have my YouTube channel recording it, and I didn't spend too much time on Instagram, but I still did my Instagram video, but because of this coronavirus, COVID-19, YouTube, the coronavirus is having an adverse effect on any and everybody, any and everything, and so having to adjust, you understand, to the circumstance, and so it takes extremely long to upload. So I'm trying not to spend too much time, and making long like I usually do and want to do, because it be important. But what I'm putting more emphasis on right now is Mr. Sam Cooke's murder case, and like I said, I just did my Instagram and briefly, went over a few facts in the case. But like I said on my Instagram, I'm gonna go into detail because I'm gonna spend more time on my Periscope and on my YouTube channel recording. It'll be recorded on my YouTube channel, and Miss Barbara Campbell Cook, and then Miss Sam Cook's children, Linda, Tracy, and Carla, and all the grandchildren, Mr. Sam Cook's sisters and brothers, and nieces and nephews. Mr. Sam Cooke was unjustly murdered. It was a murder. It wasn't no justifiable homicide. It was murder. What they tried to do is try to get out of it. That's what that was. They tried to get out of it. Mr. Sam Cooke told the door down. Yeah, he did. But that don't get you out of a murder charge. See, when you go into the actual facts of the case, yes, Mr. Sam Cooke told the door down. He walked right past Bertha Frank, didn't even say anything to you, so it don't have any bearing on the case anymore. I mean, if you, the state court of appeal, if you brought that stuff up, I mean, just to mention it, I mean, they'll sit there, the judges will sit there, the prosecuting attorney, I mean, yeah, I mean, but what they got to do with the murder? I mean, Miss Barbara Campbell Cook, she can bring it up, I mean, yeah, Sam told the door down. But what they got to do with the murder? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Don't have nothing to do with it. See, once I got my hands on the coroner's report, the state, and I see the statement, it don't have nothing to do with it. But I mean, you want to just bring up stuff just like Eliza Bowles. You want to bring it up. You want to bring it up. We gotta waste our time with Eliza Bowles. I told you I already eliminated Eliza Bowles. I already did that myself. That's a waste of time. Just like the dope. That's a waste of time. But I mean, you want to sit here and just bring up stuff. I mean, it don't have anything, any bearing on the murder case, on the murder. Mr. Sam Cooke got loud after he tore the door down, after he knocked the door down, walked past Bertha Franklin. Didn't even say anything to him. He looked around trying to find Eliza Bowles. Didn't find her. He got loud. Then he grabbed Bertha Franklin by the arm. Bertha Franklin resisted. Bertha Franklin said herself. She started kicking and biting and scratching. She defended herself. In the state law, even federal law, in the state and federal, that's self-defense. You want to bring it up? Bring it up. No matter running, I mean, you want to bring it up. You claim your life, you fear for your life. Well, you defended yourself. See, this the law. See, you would send your ass up on the witness stand, running your damn mouth. I fear for my life. I heard what you said. You were just repeating what somebody told you to say. I heard what you said. I fear for my life. But see, in this definition of self-defense, that don't have nothing to do with you going to get no gun. Because see, when you did all that scratching and biting and kicking, because Mr. Sam could grab you by the arm and you fell down, you got into a tussle. We got to tussle. That's what you said. We got to tussle. When you got into a tussle with Mr. Sam Cooke, the state law, that when you want to stand up, stand up for yourself, defend yourself, well, that's what you did. So now, in the state law, in the state criminal court appeal, what they got to do with the murder? But I mean, you want to keep bringing up all this stuff. See, the only thing you're trying to do is trying to get out of it. See, once you go into the facts of the case, again, it don't have nothing to do with the murder. Because after you got into a tussle with Mr. Sam Cooke, you got up off the floor, you got him up off you. You kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. You kicked him. You kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. And then he hit the wall. So now, the fact that Mr. Sam Cooke grabbed you by the arm, it don't have nothing to do with you kicking Mr. Sam Cooke. Once you got up off the floor. Because the state law gonna say this. When Mr. Sam Cooke grabbed you by the arm, and you resisted, you ain't want him to grab, you got to kicking and biting and scratching. And you fell down, and he fell down, all that. You got into a tussle. Then Mr. Sam Cooke, you got him up off, so you got back on your feet. And Mr. Sam Cooke was just standing there. You kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. Now see, Mr. Sam Cooke, he got rights too. Don't you dare try to make it sound like Mr. Sam Cooke don't have rights. Mr. Sam Cooke got rights. And when you got up off the ground and when you kicked Mr. Sam Cooke, who told you that you had the right to do that? Who told you that? Who told you that was right what you did? See, you don't know what you're talking about. Because like I've been saying all over again, see, it was your fault. See, you was the reason why all this happened. You the manager at the motel. Mr. Sam Cooke was just looking for Eliza Bowles. That's all he was doing. And by you being a manager, see, all this was started by you. Because you unqualified as a manager. But like I said, you got up off the floor and you kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. And then what happened? See, this is the reason why every time you try to bring up all this stuff, it's always then. Then what happened? See, after you kicked Mr. Sam Cooke and he hit the wall, what did he do? He just was standing there. He didn't try to come at you like you lied and tried to say. Then I ran and grabbed a gun. Well, see, the state law gonna tell you this, Bertha Franklin. When you ran, in your mind, that's premeditated murder. It's first degree murder. When you ran, what was the reason why you run? Was you running because Mr. Sam Cooke was chasing you? No. Well, why'd you run? No, I was running because I was going to get a weapon. I wanted to kill Mr. Sam Cooke. See, you weren't running for your life and for your safety. Mr. Sam Cooke, he attacked me and I was afraid. So I tried to run to get away from him. No, you ain't trying to run to get away. No, you was running after you kicked Mr. Sam Cooke. After you kicked Mr. Sam Cooke and he hit the wall, you ran and grabbed the gun. And then after you grabbed the gun, you shot Mr. Sam Cooke. Hell, you damn near unloaded the damn gun. That's first degree murder. That's first degree murder. first is a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy report, the coroner's report from Celebrity Archive for $25. $25. So like I said, I have a copy of Mr. Sam Cooke's autopsy report. You know, the coroner's report, that is the state of California, the court. That's the state of California court, the criminal court of appeals. And I'm going to continue to be an advocate for Mr. Sam Cooke, and it will be justice in the courtroom for Mr. Sam Cooke. That was wrong what that woman did. As you can see, like I say, I'm just, briefly giving a little brief facts, but we're going to go into detail, Mr. Sam Cooke's murder, detail. And you're going to see the general public going to be, Ms. Barbara Campbell Cooke should not be walking around, and Mr. Sam Cooke's daughters, Miss Linda and Miss Tracy, and Mr. Sam Cooke's other children, their grandchildren, Mr. Sam Cooke's sister and brother, mother and father, at the time who was alive, who now, passed, time have passed away, and all the nieces and nephews. That was wrong what you did. That was wrong what that woman did. And in the courtroom, that was wrong what the people in the courtroom did. That was wrong. That was wrong. And it will be rectified. It will be rectified in the court of law. Now this is a world map of all the people of the whole earth, the whole world. And this is a map of the Albanian language. this is a Baltic language map. And this is a Greek language map. And this is a Slavic language map. And this is an Altaic language map. And this is a Euro-Altaic language map. Now, this is a Romanian language map. Now, the Romanian language is a Latin Romance language. In Romania, in the Romanian language known as Wallachia. Now, this is a map of the languages of Africa. And this is a map of the languages of Africa. And this is a map of the languages of Africa. This is an Afro-Asiatic language distribution map. And this is an Afro-Asiatic language distribution map. This is a Nilo-Saharan language distribution map. And this is a Nilo-Saharan language distribution map. And this is a Niger-Congo language distribution map. This is a Niger-Congo language distribution map. And the title of this book is West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Omasena Benito, Dr. P. Adelumo Depemu. And the title of this book is African Traditional Religion and Definition, written by Dr. E. Baloja Adowu. And the title of the book is African Religion and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M.B. And the title of this book is Concepts of God and Africa, written by Dr. John S. M.B. Now, Webster's Third New International Dictionary gives you a complete total definition and meaning of the word gang, the act, manner, or means of going. Now that stupid sorority, that stupid fraternity, the East Coast bitch, trying to claim the whole damn East Coast from the state of Maine all the way down to the state of Florida, using some occult literature. You don't get away with it. Feel like I've been telling you now, you ain't gonna get away with it. Gonna get your damn ass killed. And what's gonna happen, you gonna get your ass killed. See, nobody at the United States State and nobody at the United States Justice Department told you to go make up a word and lie about the word gang and the word mob. Didn't nobody tell nobody over at William and Mary College to make up no damn sorority fraternity and no fraternity. Didn't nobody tell you to do that at the Justice Department. Nobody told you that. And then going around calling yourself sister and brother in Latin. Nobody told you that. And then nobody at the United States Justice Department tell all you damn people on the East Coast to go around lying and using no occult literature and then talking about the United States Constitution. Did nobody tell you that at the Justice Department? No damn body at the United States Justice Department told you to go and move from the East Coast using no occult literature. Nobody told you that. See the sorority and fraternity be out on the street, going around telling other people, yeah, I've been to college. I got a bachelor's degree. I got a master's degree. I got a PhD. And that's I got my right to express myself, and I got my right to freedom of speech and all this. Then nobody at the United States Justice Department tell you that. Like I call and keep telling you, the people that work over there at the United States Justice Department, they've been to college too. Got a bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD, and that's their classmates. Nobody told you that. Nobody at the United States Justice Department told you that. See, you be doing all that damn shit on your own. Nobody at the United States Justice Department telling you to do all that stupid mess on the street. See, you're gonna get your ass killed playing with wrong people. You're gonna get your ass killed. And then the United Nations, the same when you be talking about that occult literature, that literature you be talking about. See, over there at the United Nations, see all the people on the earth. See all these so-called secret societies from Africa, from Asia, from Europe, over there at the United Nations. Nobody told you that. See, a bunch of damn criminals. See, it's all these criminals going around making up stuff. Going around lying. Now, Oxford English Dictionary gives you a complete total definition meaning of the word gang. Action or mode of going way past it, a set of things or person. Now that stupid sorority, that stupid fraternity, like I told you, nobody at the United States Justice Department telling you to do the damn mess you be doing out on the street. You do that on your own. Now your classmates over there at the United States Justice Department, they work on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 5 days of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, be over there working at the United States Justice Department. Nobody told you to take the word gang and the word mob and go after it. Nobody, the United States Justice Department didn't tell you that. Nobody told you that. Nobody told you to go around calling yourself the Ku Klux Klan. See, the United States Justice Department don't be telling a lot of people to do the shit they do. So there again, nobody telling you to do this. So the sorority and the fraternity going around hazing people on the campus. You make it sound like the guy, like the damn United States Justice Department telling you to do this shit. Nobody telling you to do that. The United States Justice Department is telling nobody on the campus to haze anybody. If anything, the United States Justice Department told you it's a crime. They told you that hazing is a crime. Yes, they did. The court told you, and they telling you over and over again every time they have some kind of court case with the damn hazing. They telling you over and over again it's wrong. They telling you it's wrong. But what do the sorority fraternity do? They keep doing the same thing. What they keep doing? They keep hazing all around this country. They done told you it's wrong. But what do the sorority fraternity keep doing? They keep doing the same damn thing, hazing. The United States Justice Department told you it's wrong. The United States Justice Department not telling you to join no sorority fraternity. They didn't tell you to start no sorority fraternity. Nobody did not say this is the reason why I'm currently doing the things I'm doing. Because see, out on the street, you people be doing something wrong. It's wrong what you be doing. That sorority and that fraternity, you be going around lying. East Coast bitch, you be going around lying. You're going around trying to claim the whole damn East Coast from the state of Maine all the way down to the state of Florida. Going around telling people you went to college, you got a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD. You're gonna get your damn ass killed playing with other people, man. Like I said, nobody, your classmates over the United States Justice Department, the Justice Department not telling you to do that. You're doing that mess on your own. The United States government enacted the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act 1970, the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. The RICO Act is anti-gang. The Comprehensive Drug Abuse Prevention and Control Act 1970, the Controlled Substance Act, the Psychotropic Substance Act, the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Act, the Kingpin Act is all anti-gang. The Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention Act of 1974 established the Office of Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention. Then you have other related legislation. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative Office of Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention, and the Comprehensive Gang Model Office of Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the Office of Justice Program, and the United States Department of Justice. The Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the United States Department of Justice. The Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative Project Safe Neighborhood, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Communal Oriented Police Service, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention, the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, International Narcotics Law Enforcement Affairs, the United States Department of State, the Institute for Intergovernmental Affairs, Gang Resistant Education Training, a great program. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention. In October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which has been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Legal Prevention, since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which has been funded by the Bureau of Justice since 2003. The National Gang Center complex state laws against gang prevention overview research program, Mr. James Allen, Office of Juvenile Justice Links Prevention. The United States Department of Justice, Bureau of Justice, Office of Juvenile Justice Links Prevention. The National Gang Center Bulletin. In the title of the book, History of Street Gangs in the United States, and you can also go to the quick reference Wikipedia. You find the same information every time. Gangs in the United States. The United States Department of Justice, Office of the United States Attorney Manual 1457, Criminal Street Gang Stand, 18, United States Code 521. The United States Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, the National Gang Intelligence Center, the United States Department of Justice, Organized Crime and Gang Section. You also have other federal, state, and local agencies. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, the National Institute of Justice, Anti-Gang Strategy, Prevention, Intervention, Assessment, and Suppression. The United States Department of Justice, Office of Justice Program, National Institute of Justice, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Center for Injury Prevention and Control, Chain and Course, preventing gang membership, also striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. The United States Department of Justice, the United States Department of Education, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Labor and the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, the National Forum of Youth Violence Prevention Forum. You can go to youth.gov and be informed about the National Forum of Youth Violence Prevention Forum, as well as the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Comprehensive Gang Law, the United States Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice, the National Crime Prevention Council, keeping kids out of gang. Also, the United States Department of Justice, hazing is a crime. You can go to lawyers.com and be informed about anti-hazing. Now, don't negate the pre-13 colony history. The history before the 13 colony. Very important. Harvard University is the oldest institute of higher learning in the United States, founded March 13, 1639, in Cambridge, Massachusetts. William Mary College, Williamsburg, Virginia, founded February 8, 1693. Second oldest institute of higher learning in the United States of America. Now, pay close attention, because the United States Department of Justice did not tell anybody to do this. Phi Beta Kappa Society, founded December 5, 1776, the College of William Mary, recognized as the first Greek letter student society in North America. The United States Department of Justice didn't tell you to do that. Alpha Delta Pi, first sorority founded in 1851, Wesleyan College in Macon, Georgia. The United States Department of Justice did not tell you to do that. The first organization to adopt the word sorority was Gamma Phi Beta, established on November 11, 1874, Syracuse University in Syracuse, New York. The United States Department of Justice didn't tell you to do that. The first women's fraternity at DuPont College. The United States Department of Justice did not tell you to do that. Now, the basis of sorority and fraternity is them old world secret society from Africa, from Asia, and from Europe. For example, the Eastern Star Freemasons. They talk about Euclid, the mathematician, living in Alexandria, Egypt, 1390-1425, mentioned in the Holloway manuscript, the Reed's poem, the Cook manuscript, the Downing manuscript. Examples of them old world secret society from Africa, from Asia, from Europe. Skull and Bones, Rosicrucians, the Son of the Liberty, the Third Side, the Pride Scion, the Order of Temple Orient, Knights of the Golden Eagle, the Women, the Ancient Arab Order of the Nobles of the Mystic Shrine, the Approved Order of Red, the P.O. Sisterhood, the Eastern Star of the Freemasons, the Elks, the Lower Order of Moose, the Bilderberg Group, the Ku Klux Klan, Knights of Bethesda, Knights of Columbus, the Illuminati, Far Society, Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the Mystic Order of Bell, Prophets of the Enchanted Ram, the United Order of the Golden Cross, United Ancient Order of Druid, the National Grain, Ancient Order of Hermanians, the Opus Dei, the Knights Temple, the Scottish Rite, the Spanish Garduna, the Carbonari, the Black Hand. You say Mafia, that's Afro-Asiatic. You say Costa Nostra, that's Latin. the triad, the yakuza, the osara. Now, street slang, such as, for example, gang bluster and mob bluster. Merriam-Webster's third new international dictionary, Oxford English Dictionary, gives the complete total definition meaning of the word gang, bluster, and mob bluster. And you have other street slang like boss, goon, thug, crook, hooligan, mac, player, pimp, whore, hustler, nigga, field nigga, house nigga. It's street slang. You got street slang for music: hip hop, rock and roll, swing, groove, jazz, blues, funk, doo-wop, bebop. It's street slang. You got street slang for money, currency exchange: bucks, racks, stank, band, bread, dough, scratch, loot, motor, Benjamin Davis. It's street slang. Nothing official, nothing right about no street slang. Now, the United States Department of Justice, hazing is a crime. The sorority and the fraternity, they use hazing in the initiation ritual. The United States Department of Justice did not tell anybody start no fraternity and start no sorority. And they most certainly did not tell you the sorority fraternity use hazing in the initiation. And the United States Department of Justice did not tell you to use that occult literature. And they didn't tell you to initiate anybody into no sorority fraternity. They didn't tell you that. The United States Department of Justice did not tell you that. See, the sorority fraternity are criminals. See, they be out on the street, the East Coast beach, trying to influence people, telling other people, I've been to college, I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree, I got a PhD. They trying to use the East Coast as a base for their criminal organization, trying to claim the whole damn East Coast from the state of Maine all the way down to the state of Florida, using that occult literature. Then they leave the East Coast and go to all the other places in the United States of America, including U.S. territory, using that occult literature. See, that where all that's where all that blood gang, Crip gang came from. That's where all that Bloodstone, Venom Lines, that's where it came from. Where they come from. Because see, a lot of these celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers, they went to college and they, like you say, they joined. They became members of the sorority and the fraternity. And they call themselves a blood and a Crip, call themselves a Bloodstone, a villain, a limestone, all that. The United States Department of Justice didn't tell you that. See, you're going to get your ass killed. You're going to get your damn ass killed. Now, the United States Department of Justice does sorority and fraternity. Like I said, the United States Department of Justice didn't tell you to do that. The sorority and fraternity, they commit crime on and off the campus. They use and abuse tobacco products. They indulge in gambling and games of chance. They use and abuse alcohol and drugs. They indulge in immoral activity. They indulge in sexual deviance and depravity. Don't be misled by the sorority fraternity. All those persons that initially started the sorority fraternity, renounce them. Denounce the whole concept and idea of the sorority fraternity. Now, the sorority fraternity, they work and they manage the businesses, companies, and corporations. They use and misuse the background check. They commit crimes against humanity, atrocities, violation of human rights, civil rights, inhumanity, genocide, and ethnic cleansing, all forms of discrimination and harassment. They pollute the air, groundwater, and noise pollution. They destroy the environment, nature, and wildlife. So don't be misled by the sorority fraternity trying to influence you by saying, I've been to college, I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree, I got a PhD, so listen to me. Now, this is a list of place names of Native American origin in the United States. For example, state names: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Idaho, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North and South Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says see also, you'll see a list of place names of indigenous origin in America. Piracy and them pirates. See? That's that occult literature. The United States Department of Justice, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Prevention, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, the National Gang Center Bulletin, and the title of the bulletin, History of Street Gangs in the United States, written by Mr. James A. Mr. John P. Moore. Now, you can also go to the quick reference, Wikipedia. You can find that same information. It'll be titled Gangs in the United States. This is the International Human Rights Watch, Global Rights Frontline, Defending Human Rights, Bound Frontier, International for Human Rights. Conservation International, Wildlife Conservation Society, Conservation Fund, Legal Conservation Board, Earth Watch Institute, Conservancy Association, Earth Dust, Conservation Volunteer. Wildlife Conservation Network, Endangered Wildlife Trust, Biodiversity Nature Conservancy Association, Rare Species Conservation Center, Wildlife Research Conservation Trust, the Rainforest Trust, International Rainforest Conservation Organization, Rainforest Land, Rainforest Action Network. Biodiversity International, Earth Day Network, Environmental Defense Fund, Friends of the Earth, Friends of Nature, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, Wildlife Conservation Society, Soil and Water Conservation, Clean Water Action, World Water Council, Marine Conservation Institute, Marine Conservation Alliance, Ocean Preservation Society, Ocean Society, Global Ocean Commission, and International Marine Life Alliance. This is the International Bill of Human Rights. This is the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. And this is the Declaration of the Rights of the Child. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. And this is the world's oldest human rights organization, Anti-Slavery International. And this is the International Federation for Human Rights. And the world's oldest international conservation organization, BirdLife International. And this is Fauna and Flora International, was the world's first international wildlife conservation organization. The world's oldest global environmental organization, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and also the World Wildlife Fund. Now the Catholic Church, not that particular church, they be used in occult literature. You see that, read about all them celebrity athletes, celebrity entertainers. Let's read why they go over there. Because the Catholic Church ain't no damn about it. Saint Ignatius wrote all those letters, and one of those letters he wrote to the Smyrnaeans, he put the phrase Catholic Church. Now the Protestant Reformation Movement Church, 95 Thesis Church, that is the Catholic Church, not that particular church. They be using that occult literature. American Restoration Movement, the Stone Camel Movement, Stone and Camel, Secret Handshake, the so-called Church of Christ. There's no such thing as a Church of Christ. There's no such thing. See, they be lying. That's the Catholic Church and all that particular church. They be lying, trying to hide. They be using that occult literature. They be using that occult literature. And also Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, is a lying, murdering devil. He was an occultist. He wrote all those epistles in the New Testament. The man-made religious organization, they be using those epistles that Saul from Tarsus, the self-proclaimed Apostle Paul, wrote. For example, Romans chapter 16, verse 16, salute one another with the holy kiss, the church. They put the suffix ES on the end. For Christ salutes you. Another example is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 4, so that we ourselves glory in you in the church with the suffix is of God for your patient faith and all your persecution and tribulation that ye endure. Now, devil worship, Satanism, is no such thing. There's no such thing as taking the word devil out the Holy Bible, no such thing as taking the word Satan out the Holy Bible. That's religious persecution. It's religious persecution. No such thing, no deism, Satanism, atheism. They made it up. There's no such thing as devil worship, Satanism. It's religious persecution. That's what that is. That's religious persecution. You see the word cult at the top. See, the sorority and fraternity, the alumni. They think just because they've been in the sorority and fraternity for over 20 years, they think you're supposed to worship them. Yeah, they ain't no damn about it. Now, this that occult literature. Western esotericism, Western mystery tradition, Hermetism, Gnosticism, Neoplatonism, Rosicrucianism, the Freemasonry, Eastern Star, the Age of Enlightenment, Spiritualism, Kabbalah. And then you see macrocosm and microcosm. You see the two words occult and arcane. Don't forget those two words. Then you see exoteric. See, that's that occult literature, Western esotericism, Western mystery tradition, Hermetism, Gnosticism, Neoplatonism, Rosicrucianism, Freemasonry, Eastern Star, Age of Enlightenment, Spiritualism, Kabbalah, macrocosm, microcosm. You see the two words occult and arcane. Don't forget them two words. Then you see exoteric. See, that's that occult literature. Nobody in the United States Department of Justice telling you to live by that occult literature. Nobody in the United States Justice Department telling you that, and they ain't telling nobody in the sorority and fraternity start no damn sorority and fraternity and use no occult literature. Now look up at the top, occult. You see the word arcane. Don't forget them two words. Esoteric, spiritualism, theosophy, anthroposophy, Hermetic order of the golden dove, New Age, Then you see all that occult signs, occult qualities. You see the word occult at the top, and arcane, and then esoteric, spiritualism, theosophy, anthroposophy, hermetic order of the golden dawn, new age, all that occult signs, occult quality. Nobody at the United States Department of Justice telling you to start no organization and use occult literature. Nobody in the United States Department of Justice telling you to start no sorority, no fraternity, and use no occult literature. Make sure you continue to study the first century. Make sure you continue to study the first century. Don't forget. It's very important. They tried to start all that Catholic Church stuff in the first century. And remember, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Son of God, in the first century was born and lived and crucified and was resurrected in the first century. The church was started in the first century. Now, we're going to continue our study of ancient people in the Bible. The Amorites were Afro-Asiatic. The Egyptians, Afro-Asiatic. The Amalekites, they were supposed descendants of Esau. The Kenites were a nomadic tribe in the ancient Levant. Moses' father-in-law was a Kenite. The Canaanites, ancient people. The Kenizzites, ancient people. Jupiter, father of the Israelite leader Caleb, was called a Kenizzite. The Hittites, Indo-European. The Perizzites, ancient people. The Rephaims or Rephaites, they were also known as Zamzum and Emil. They were ancient people. They were considered to be giants. Canaanites. Canaan, son of Ham, grandson of Noah. Canaanite and ethnic catch-all term covering various indigenous populations, both settled and nomadic pastoral roots throughout southern Levant and Canaan. The Girgasites were the Girgasites. And the Jebusites, Jebus, and the Hittites, and the Horites, and the Hurrians, the Philistines. They were not Afro-Asiatic, and it has not been determined that the Philistines were Indo-European. And also the Moabites, Afro-Asiatic. The Midianites were Afro-Asiatic, and the Ammonites, they were Afro-Asiatic. See, when it comes to that cult literature, see, when you read the Holy Bible, you turn to the Old Testament, to the 5 books of Moses. See, God be telling you that this stuff you be talking about be wrong. That occult literature. It be wrong. See, God right here in these verses right here, God telling you divination wrong, sorcery wrong, witchcraft wrong, necromancery, that's wrong. All this stuff you be making up, all them lies you be making up, it be wrong. God already told you it was wrong. God told you it's wrong. And right here, that occult is, God told you it's wrong. We finna go there. God told you it's wrong. It's wrong. Wrong. I'm God. It's wrong. Let's go there. With the 10 Commandments, Exodus chapter 20. We're going to read verses 1 through 17. And it reads, and God spake all these words, saying, pay attention. This is the reason why it's wrong. I am the Lord. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God. God telling you, I'm your God. You don't have no choice, no decision in the whole matter. You ain't got nothing to do with it. You just do what God tell you. God already told you, I'm your God. Which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That occult literature is nothing. God just told you, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God. That occult literature is nothing. Am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the father upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God in vain. For the Lord will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep your whole 6 days. Thou shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God. In it, thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them is, and rest the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy day may be long upon the land which the Lord, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his maidservant, nor his manservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is in thy neighbor's. God told you in the 10 Commandments 5 times, I am the Lord. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God. Thy God gave you the 10 Commandments. Thy God gave you the 5 books of Moses. Thy God gave you guidance. It's wrong. That occult literature is nothing. Now let's go to the Holy Bible. We're going to again go to the Holy Bible. We're going to go to the New Testament. And we're going to the greatest commandment in the law. And it can be found in the book of Matthew in the New Testament, the book of Matthew chapter 22. Verses 35 through 40. The book of Mark, chapter 12, verses 28 through 31. And the book of Luke, chapter 10, verses 25 through 28. The greatest commandment in the law. And we're going to go to the book of Matthew, chapter 22, verses 35 through 40. And it reads, Then one of them, which was a lawyer, asked him a question, tempting him and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? And Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord on account of 3. 1, 2, 3. Thy God. Went from the Old Testament to the New Testament. With all thy heart. See, all those scriptures in what we call the Old Testament. See, when you love God with all your heart, with all thy heart, see, you trust in God's word, that is divinely inspired. Not just the 5 books of Moses, but all the books in the Old Testament. All the books in the Old Testament. You have faith. You trust in God. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. See, when our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ came into the world, you love God with all your soul. See, when you think about Noah and the flood, all the people that didn't believe in God told Noah to build an ark. Put 8 people in the ark and take 2 of every kind. Put in the ark. Because God wanted to destroy wickedness, evil. And see, when you read about a lot of the things that happened in the Old Testament, you know, in the various books. And also you read about all these prophecies, and then when you read about return to the New Testament, like we are now, and we read Jesus, these his words. Well, see, when you love God all your heart, all your soul, the 5 books of Moses, it was Jesus that gave Moses the 5 books of Moses. That's what that means. That's what it means. To love God with all your soul. It was Jesus. It was the Holy Ghost. It was the Father. All one. See, when Jesus Christ tell you to take the communion, you love God. You love God with all thy soul. And then you love God with all your mind. And it says, and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. See, when you see the animals, you see the dogs and the cats, you see the rattlesnake, the bats, see the swine, you see the catfish swimming in the water, the catfish. But see, you love God with all your mind. Why you gonna pour oil in the water? And the catfish out there in the water. What you pouring oil out there in the water for? What you pouring water on the? What you putting all this lead into the atmosphere? What you doing that for? See? You love God with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto you. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And as you can see, that occult literature is nothing. It's nothing. See, Jesus started out, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto thee, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thou love thyself. And again, the greatest commandment in the law, that's Matthew chapter 22, verse 35 to 40, Mark chapter 12, verses 28 to 31, Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 28. And this also applies. See, that occult literature is nothing. That occult literature is nothing. That occult literature, it don't mean anything. It's nothing. All lies. start saying you're a Christian, you know, in the book of Acts, it's wrong. That's wrong what they did. See, that's the occult. They tried to hide behind the apostles' back and did all that mess over in Antioch. It's wrong. See, John Mark went back to Jerusalem and went back and told the apostles. See, that's the end of right there. Acts chapter 15, verse 22, that's the end of it. That was the end of it. Ain't no such thing as you being no Christian. Don't even pay no attention to these people. They lying. There's no such thing. verdict of the coroner's jury. This is the state of California, County of Los Angeles, in the matter of the inquisition upon the body of Sam Cooke, deceased before the coroner of the County of Los Angeles. Let me see here. It says here, Sam Cooke, a male married native of Mississippi, aged about 33 years of age, and he came to his death on the 11th day of December 1964 at 9137 South Figueroa Avenue, Los Angeles County, California, and that his death was caused by a gunshot wound, a chest perforating heart in both lungs with massive hemorrhage inflicted by a gun in the hands of Bertha Franklin at 9137 South Figueroa Avenue, Los Angeles, California. After the deceased had made forcible entry, and from the testimony introduced at this time, we find the death to be justifiable homicide committed by the said Bertha Franklin in protection of life and property. Well, no, it was not justifiable homicide. Now, just for the sake of emphasis, we're going to go back to Mr. Wallace R. Cooke. Being first duly sworn, testifies following the coroner. Please state your name, Wallace R. Cooke, and your occupation. Police officer, City of Los Angeles, assigned to the 77th Division Patrol. Did you receive a call in regard to this matter? Yes, sir, I did. When? You may refer to your report or your notes if you wish. Are you concerned with the time and date? The time and date. The time was approximately 3:15 a.m. I believe that was on the 10th or the 11th. I don't recall right at the moment. You may refer to your report if you wish. That was on the 11th, sir. The 11th of December 1964, yes, sir. And did you go to 9137 South Big Royal Street, Los Angeles? Yes, I did. And what is that location? This was the location of shooting of the deceased on our arrival, along with what type of a location is it? A single family dwelling. This is a motel. It is a motel, yes, sir. And whom did you contact at the motel when you arrived? A Miss Bertha L. Franklin. And tell the jury you're investigating at the time. Interviewing Miss Franklin, she stated that approximately 2:35 a.m. on that date, the deceased and a lady friend had checked in at the motel approximately 25 minutes later, while Miss Franklin was having a telephone conversation with a friend. She received a knock on the door, which was the deceased asking if his lady friend was inside. Miss Franklin stated no, she was not, and at the time, the deceased left Miss Franklin attending a phone call with her friend. Shortly after, very few minutes, as a matter of fact, Miss Franklin stated that she heard a car drive from the rear portion of the motel parking lot to the front and stop. And again, the deceased came to the door and started pounding and shouting and asking if his lady friend was inside. And again, Miss Franklin stated she was not at this time. The deceased broke the door open and both locks, walked in past Miss Franklin, checking the other rooms of her living quarters and coming back in, shouting and hollering to her, asking her where his lady friend was at. At this time, Miss Franklin stated he became more violent and grabbed her. At this time, they struggled, and she managed to get hold of her gun and shot the deceased. After laying her gun down, the deceased continued to struggle somewhat, and Miss Franklin stated that she then picked up a stick laying nearby and hit him on the head. At that time, he continued to fall to the floor, and the police were notified. Was there any physical evidence at the scene to indicate forcible entry to Mrs. Franklin's apartment? Yes, sir, there was. The stripping all down the door had been busted. And so, now, that's Officer Cooks. Miss Franklin gave a statement to the officer. So let's go to Bertha Franklin's statement. And might add you, I didn't already completely eliminated Eliza Bowes. Now here we want to get to. We want to get to Bertha L. Franklin. Now it says here, Miss Franklin, state your full name, Bertha L. Franklin, and your address, 9137 South Figueroa, Los Angeles. Yes. It is my duty to inform you that you have fulfilled testimony that this inquiry might intend to incriminate you, and you have a constitutional right to decline to testify. Is that clear? Yes. Let me read that again. It is my duty to inform you that if you feel your testimony at this inquest might tend to incriminate you, you have a constitutional right to decline to testify. Is that clear? Yes. Are you represented by counsel at this inquest? No. Do you wish to testify? I can if you want me to. Do you wish to testify? I don't mind. Directing your attention to the early morning hours of December 11, 1970. When did you first see Mr. Sam Cook at the window when he came in to register? And are you the manager? Or were you the manager of the motel located at 9137 South Figueroa Street? Yes. And were you alone in your motel quarters at the time? Yes. Were you dressed in your street clothes? Yes. What did Mr. Cook say to you when you first met him? He came to register. He wanted room for overnight. And did Mr. Cook sign the register? Yes, he did. And did you form an opinion as to whether or not Mr. Cook was intoxicated? Well, as a rule, I usually smell alcohol on people. I didn't smell any on him when he came to the window to rest, but I didn't smell any, so I couldn't say he was intoxicated. Did you see a person identified as Lisa Bowes, Miss Bowes? The girl that was with him? Yes. Yes, I saw her. How did Mr. Cook first wrote his name, just his name down? And then I told him, I said, I saw her coming. And so I told him you would have to put Mr. and Mrs. because he had already put number 2 on the card. And then Mr. Cook and Miss Bowes, the girl, say anything. Was there any argument? No. She didn't say anything. She didn't say a word. You didn't hear her make any statement? No, she didn't. She didn't say nothing. That is the reason I couldn't tell the podium what accent she spoke, because she didn't say anything. And to the best of your knowledge, had you ever seen Miss Bowles before this early morning? No. And had you ever seen Mr. Cook before this? Okay. No, no more than on TV. Now, What was your answer? No. Then, did Mr. Cook and Miss Bowie leave your vision, or did you take them to the motel? No, they went. It was already unlocked. And what is the next thing that happened on you? Well, I went on back to my telephone conversation. I didn't watch them. Were you talking on the phone when Mr. Cook rented the room? Yes. No, I wasn't talking on the phone when he rented the room. It was shortly after. Shortly after Mr. Cook rented the room. Yes, because he came in at 2:35. Did you receive a phone call? Yes. Did you call someone, or did they call you? They called me. Who was this individual? My boss. Your boss. My boss is white. My boss white. What is your name? Evelyn Carr. And while you were talking on the phone to Miss Carr, did anything unusual occur? Someone knocked on the door and I told them to wait a minute. And I went to the window. You went to the window of your motel. Keep your voice up. Yes, I didn't see anyone. And then what happened? Well, I came back and started my conversation all over again. And then, did anyone else knock on the door? Yes. Who knocked at the door this time? If you know, Mr. Cook. What did Mr. Cook say? I got up and walked to the window. He never rang the bell. He knocked on the door. Keep your voice up. He didn't ring the bell. No. He knocked on the door. What did Mr. Cook say when he knocked on the door? Where is the girl? And what did you say? I told him I didn't see no girl. When he went down, he had on a light shirt. The collar was loose. When he rented the motel, he had a light shirt on and his collar was loose. And his tie was hanging down and he had his shirt on the outside of his back. How did he look when he knocked on the door last time? Well, he had on a jacket then. Did you see any shirt? No, just had a jacket. How much of Mr. Cook could you see through your front door window? This way. You are indicating for the record across the chest. And your answer is yes, that is it. Well, I saw. And did you admit Mr. Cook to your apartment? No, I didn't. What did you tell Mr. Cook? I admit nobody to my apartment unless I know them. You know who they are. Everybody can't come into the office, especially at that time of night. What did Mr. Cook say? He asked me where was the girl. He just kept saying, where's the girl? I told him I didn't know. He asked if he could see if she was in there. Then I said, listen, call the police. They will come. Those are the only people that can come in here. He said, damn the police. And then he started working with his shoulder. You are indicating for the record. Was he forcing your door with his shoulder? Yes, he was. And how many times did he force your door? If you know, with his shoulder before he made entry? Well, I just couldn't say because I can't say just how many times, but it wasn't long before he was in. And did you hear the sound of any lock breaking or doors breaking when he entered? Sure, they broke. He broke the door down. Now pay attention. Pay attention. See, it don't have no bearing on the murder case. No. He broke the door down. Yes, he did broke the door down. No, he didn't break the door down. He broke the stripping off. You know where the lock is. He broke the lock off the door. The stripping downside the door. Stripping on the side of the door. Yeah, and the slide latch. That little thing that it slides into. The slide latch. He broke that off. And this lock, he broke it. And what did he do or you do after he entered? Broke the lock. What happened after he, see, what happened after? What happened after he got in your apartment? When he walked in, he walked straight to the kitchen. So your life and property supposed to be in danger. He walked straight in and went right past. Straight to the kitchen, and then he came back and went into the bedroom. Then he came out. I was standing there in the floor, and he grabbed both of my arms and started twisting them and asking me where was the girl. Now, for clarification, Mr. Cook came out to the bedroom and grabbed both of your arms. Yes. So now, what do the door have to do when Mr. Cook grabbed your arm? Nothing. See, Now it's something different. See, Mr. Cook broke the door down, okay? And then what he do? He walked right past. He went into the kitchen. Then he went into the bedroom. Okay, well, you can't bring it up no more. Now for clarification, Mr. Cook came out to the bedroom and grabbed both your arms, yes. And you are demonstrating your wrist. What they saw after this, I am sore all over now. And I'm taking therapy treatments every other day. And did you return this physical force and any amount? Pay attention. Yes, I did. Read that again. And did you return this physical force in any amount? Yes, I did. So there again, tell the jury what you did. He was twisting my arm, and so we got in a tussle. So finally I fell to the floor. He fell on top of me. I don't know if I hit the table with my head or not to knock it, tipped over to the couch. So then I started kicking, and he may have a bite. I don't know. But I tried to bite him through that jacket. You tried to bite Mr. Cook. Yes, biting, scratching, hitting, scratching, and everything. So now that you, Mr. Sam Cook, grabbed your arm, you can't bring up nothing about no broke down door. Okay, so now we got to deal with Mr. Cook grabbed your arm and twisted your arm. And what did you do? Well, I returned that physical force. That's self-defense. That's self-defense. Yes, biting, scratching, and everything. What was Mr. Cook doing at this time? He was still twisting my arm and holding me down there on the floor. Finally, I got up, and when I kicked him, I think back toward the wall there, then he ran back to me, and I pushed him back down. So at that time, I run and grabbed the pistol off grabbed the gun off the TV, and I shot. Do you normally keep the pistol on top of the TV? I keep it handy most any place in the house where I can reach it. Why do you keep the pistol? Because I have been held up. Talking to the speaker, you have been held up, yes. And do you keep this pistol for self-protection? That is right. And what did you do when you grabbed your pistol? I started shooting. And how far was Mr. Cook away from you when you started shooting? He wasn't too far. He was at close range. Now, how many times did you fire this pistol? 3 times. And do you know whether you struck or did you know you struck Mr. Cook? See, when you did all that, you can't bring up that the fact that Mr. Cook grabbed my arm and twisted my arm, so I shot him. When you fell all on the ground, when you were doing all that biting and scratching and kicking, the Constitution, the California State, what you call that? See, what you call it? Biting and scratching and kicking and all that. When you fell on the floor and Mr. Cook grabbed my arm, that's self-defense. Then you finally got off the floor, got back on, and you kicked Mr. Cook. Then you say, I think he hit the wall. Then you said he kept coming at me back toward the wall. Then he ran back to me, and I pushed him back down. And so you pushed him back down. Now while Mr. Cook is down, what'd you do? I ran. And when you ran, what did you do? I grabbed the gun. Now, what part of that you don't understand about first-degree murder and about self-defense? You pushed Mr. Cook down. Now, while he down on the ground, what are you doing? I ran and grabbed the gun. That's not self-defense. That's first-degree murder. said yes because he said, lady, you shot me. And when Mr. Cook said, lady, you shot me, what was he doing at the time? Ran at me again. He ran at you again. And your answer is yes. And what did you do? Well, I started fighting again. Let me go back. And see, I started, and how far Mr. Cook away from you when you started? He wasn't too far. He was that close range. How many times did you fire the 3 times? How do you know whether you struck or did you know you struck Mr. Cook? Yes, because he said, lady, you shot me. And when Mr. Cook said, lady, you shot me, what was he doing at that time? Ran at me again. How Mr. Cook gonna run at you again? You had already pushed the man down. Then you ran and grabbed the gun. See something that this is. Ran at me again. He ran at you again. And your answer is yes. And what did you do? Well, I started fighting again. How you gonna start fighting again? You got a gun. You been shot at this man 3 times. See, there come a time when you have to see she lying. See, you just making it up, trying to make it sound like Mr. Cook did all this, and that was a reason for you to shoot and kill Mr. Cook. That's what that sound like to me. Well, I started fighting again. Then I got this stick and hit him with that. Where did you hit Mr. Cook with the stick? In the head. And did the stick break? Yes. Or was it broken before you struck Mr. Cook? No. It was very flimsy. It wasn't too good. And you struck Mr. Cook on the head with the stick? Yes. Now, how many times did you strike Mr. Cook on the head? If you know, well, I sure don't know, but the first time I hit him, it broke. And did you receive medical treatment for your end? Yes. And were you in fear of your life when you fired the gun in the direction of Mr. Cook? Yes, sir. If he had nerve to break in my apartment and jump on me, how did I know what he was going to do? They said, do you have any questions, Mr. Barilla? When you received that call from Miss Carr, what was that about? Some prowlers were around her place. She was calling me to warn me of some prowlers. This was just before the knock on the door. At the time when he knocked, she was talking to me. She was on the phone. I want you to look at Exhibit 1A dress. Torque Roger, have you ever seen that before? That dress right there. That is my dress. So there you have it. See, when you deal with self-defense in the state law, that wasn't no damn self-defense, that was first-degree murder. See, you have to know the specifics of first-degree of self-defense before you can pick up a knife or a gun or a stick or a brick or whatever weapon, or you can take a pot and use as a way to defend yourself. But as you can see, she be lying. She was lying. Remember these words. Now these are just a few of the free logo design websites you go to make anti-gang logo. gonna get ready to end today's video. Again, my name is Eric D. Jones, also known BrightShine, live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Shelby, state of Tennessee. Thank all my family for your continued support. Always put God first. You know, like I said, I'm gonna continue to be an advocate for Mr. Sam Cooke, and I just read his coroner's report. Miss Bertha Frank, she was sworn in, and if they asked her a question about her constitutional right, she ain't have to answer anything, but she on her own. So when we get to the criminal court of appeals and all that, see, it's the law. It's the law. You have a constitutional right to remain silent. You testified, gave your testimony of what happened. Well, you basically lied about self-defense. But it wasn't no self-defense, it was first-degree murder. And they asked you a question, are you the manager? And you answered, yes, I'm the manager. That's the law. So, like I said, I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. And I'm gonna have to upload, irregardless. It's my intent to make my video again. So, until next time, take care of yourself, because each and every one of you very big. And always put God first. Put God first. And remember that occult literature, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. The Holy Bible, Old Testament, New Testament. I am the Lord, thy God. Old Testament, New Testament. That occult literature is nothing. It's nothing. Nobody in the United States Department of Justice is telling you to join no sorority, no fraternity. They're not telling you to be in a gang. Nobody in the Department of Justice is telling you to live, to be on the East Coast and use no occult literature and victimize each other and go around all over the United States of America and around the world with that damn occult literature trying to victimize other people. Nobody told you to leave the East Coast. In the United States Department of Justice, they ain't tell you that. Nobody in the Department of Justice is telling you damn people to do all this wrong and commit all these crimes. You doing that on your own. You doing that on your own. And you're gonna get your damn ass killed for instigating and provoking other people.